Okay, so it is day one of the online business. Um, Basically, today I'll have to kind of figure out what it is, which direction I want to go in, what exactly I want to try to create, and so I'm going to use anti-gravity to do just that, because in the introduction I basically just want to use AI to kind of create everything. So I'm going to prompt this right now, do a little bit of research to figure out, what exactly I could make to, make money. Um, I do have a little bit of experience vibe coding. Um, I created like a dream journal, an online dream journal, that basically lets people enter their dreams. You can use your microphone to do voice to text. I used OpenAI's Whisper API for that. Um, And then of course, I use like the basic tech stack, Supabase, Vercel for hosting. And I'll probably use those again for this, but we'll see. Because as we all know with AI, things change very fast. But yeah, let's see. I want to just kind of do a little bit of research here and see what we can get going. So I'll go ahead and prompt this here. Um, so not a super specific prompt. Um, I just want to kind of see what we have here. Uh, One concept with manifestation is you need to basically just stay positive. Um, you can't really have negative thoughts at all, or else you'll basically just give up. Um, so one thing that's really important is when, first of all, that you're aware of them, and then you basically just convert them into something positive. For example, if I tell myself, this isn't working, um, then I'll believe it and I'll just give up and I won't push through. So absolutely you can't do that, but let's just look here and see what we get. Okay, so not much of this really resonates with me. I do like the real estate agent aspect here, using AI to generate basically marketing, copy, and that sort of thing. Um, so I'm going to delve into this and try and expand upon it and see if we can get more details here. Um, let's see. So again, not a really specific prompt. I think when I kind of get more of an idea formed, I'll get more specific so I can get better output. But right now it's just going to be like brainstorming, trying to get ideas, trying to, get something going here. And while it's doing this, I wanted to talk about there's an interesting development with Anthropic. Um, they have a new model coming out that's supposed to be really, really good. It scored like a 94% on the software engineering benchmark, um, which is pretty impressive. It's like an A plus base. Well, not an A plus, it's an A, but that seems really, really good. So I think now is really a good time more than ever to try and do something like this. But we'll see. Um, okay, let's see here. I'm just gonna pause the video and read this real quick. So I think the first one probably resonates with me the most. I like the idea of basically being able to like enter an address and then having copy generated for like a realtor to easily just copy and paste like listing descriptions and that sort of thing. And all you really need is like an LLM, like a text generation LLM to do this, uh, which I think the copy could be pretty accurate and like SEO optimized and realistic. Uh, so I'm going to expand upon that. Um, so let's see. I tried doing this before and it was kind of difficult to automatically just export and paste it um, to like the social media account itself. I don't know if that changed, but maybe it has. I don't know. Okay, let's see where this takes us. So it looks like it's generating code already. It's kind of annoying when it does this because I didn't really ask it to and it's still in planning mode. Um, but yeah, uh, okay, so it's already basically just like done this. Um, so this is kind of interesting. I've never used anti-gravity's. It has basically the capability to go to the browser itself, and I've never really taken advantage of that yet, even though that's been a thing for a couple months now, at least. This is pretty interesting though, uh, and I'm pretty sure this is just basic vanilla CSS and JavaScript. This isn't even really that complex yet. Um, and of course, like none of this is gonna work yet, but I like what I see so far. I think this could be a pretty good concept. Before I go any further, though, I'm going to do a little bit more research here and see what sorts of websites already exist. Because what I want to do is I want to, take an already existing idea, improve upon it, create more value by creating more features that don't exist yet. And so I'm going to see just how I can do that exactly. So let's go ahead and get a prompt for that. I'm going to be explicit here and tell it not to do any more code generation because I don't want to waste usage on that. Um, So I'm going to ask it to search the web. Alright, let's see what we get with this. I want to make sure that you don't see the logo here because that is personal information. So, um, I think it's pretty cool how the AI can just use, web search and like do all of this. Um, for the actual design and style of the site, I'm going to try to, reverse engineer um, some really good professionally done designs because I think the AI isn't really that great with that yet unless you explicitly tell it to, copy an already good existing design. But let's see what we get here. I'm just going to read over this and pause the video. Okay, so I like what it has here. I like number 1 and 2. 3 and 4, they don't really seem like that valuable. They don't really seem like they create too much value. I'm going to ask it to come up with some other things, some unique features that will be, that I can kind of market and angle to kind of get more people in. So let's see. Um, so this isn't really that specific at all, but I don't know. Let's just see what we get here. Okay. So I think I'm just gonna go with this. Like, I'm not gonna get really super detailed with this. At this point now, I want to actually start building. Sorry, there was a smudge on the screen. I'm going to start. That was my finger also. I didn't like fart or anything. That was my finger against the thing. Um, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start asking it to come up with a plan. Basically summarize all the features, come up with a plan, and then start actually building it out. And I want to see how long this takes. And if you didn't notice, I'm using 3.1 Pro High, which is a pretty sophisticated. It's pretty sophisticated. Um, or it's one of the top LLMs at this point in terms of benchmarks. So let's go ahead and get a plan going. Um, for the actual design of the site, I want to use CSS obviously, but I want to use some sort of a framework. So I'm going to tell it to, as an AI, not make it look like an AI made this. And we'll just see what that even means, like if that even makes a difference. Try to make this not, try to make the design not look like an AI made it. Um, And then also I want to research one of these already existing websites, look at their design and copy it, iterate over it, and try to improve it and make it look better and see what that looks like. Okay, so this is one of the websites it mentioned that basically kind of does something like this already. Uh, this looks pretty good looking. I mean, I don't really think this is going to be that difficult to copy. Um, this might be kind of difficult finding non-copyrighted like pictures of that for marketing. Um, let's see. Let's try reverse engineering the design of this and see what that looks like. Okay, so I'm going to tell it to go to that website, reverse engineer the front end design, come up with some ways to improve it, and then begin generating a prompt I can use later for the front end landing page or just do for the landing page when it is time to work on it. And I'm really curious to see how this will turn out because I've never really done something like this before, where you like try to reverse engineer the design of a site or something. So let's see. And so again, you can see it's like already doing stuff, which is kind of annoying, but not that big of a deal. I'll show you what the usage is. This is the free plan of anti-gravity. Um, and so I'm already at like 80% and it hasn't even like really generated that much code. But I still have like these other models I can use, which is, that's fine. Um, so I'll just wait for this to finish here, but you can see it has the prompt that I'll basically just copy and paste later on. Um, with this prompt, though, I'll also include the actual website itself, just so it can get more context and accuracy. But I'll update the video, or I'll unpause the video when this is finished. Okay, so I want to be transparent here, and it basically gave an error. Um, so it should it should be able to easily debug and fix this. So let's see if it does that. I think it's pretty cool how it's able to automatically like know it messed up and try to fix it. Um, let's see. Okay, so it fixed whatever the issue was, but this doesn't look anything at all like the other website. I think it does look good though. Um, this is kind of cool. Target audience, quick highlights. Uh, I don't, I don't really know about this though. Here, like right here. Um, maybe there's a way to automatically like have it figure out what sorts of features or highlights that it should use. But we'll see here. I don't think it's done yet. This is kind of cool. This obviously isn't going to work yet. I don't have any sort of API hooked up to this yet. Oh, I guess it's testing it by itself. I've never seen this before. This is pretty cool. But yeah, it's not going to work, and that's okay. Okay, so it seems that it's working now. This is what we have here. I noticed it only generates for Instagram or LinkedIn, and so I'll need to add Facebook and probably X or Twitter. Um, and so, I can easily just tell it to do that, but that pretty much covers this video. In the next one, I want to, keep iterating over all of this. Um, I think by the end of the week or, in 2 weeks, I should have like an actual MVP ready. Um, Also, the goal is to spend basically no money on this except for um, the actual domain of whatever the site will be. But so far, I think everything looks pretty good. But anyway, that's the end of this video. If you want to see where things go from here, then be sure to like and subscribe the video. Also, leave a comment if it's nice or mean. I don't really care. I just want you to engage with the video.